Jai Guru. Revered Swamijis and other renunciates, fellow devotees, and spiritual seekers. A warm welcome to all of you who have gathered here today for the inauguration of the Society for Inner Resources Development, SIRD's new center by Puja Swami Bhumananda Tirthaji. At the outset, we humbly request all of you to silence your handphones. Please silence your handphones. Thank you. The first item in this morning's ceremony is the unveiling of the inauguration plaque by Puja Swamiji. This will take place in the porch outside. To witness this ceremony, we humbly request all of you to adjourn to the porch area and await the arrival of Puja Swamiji. Upon return to the hall, we expect you to return to your original seats. We will be chanting Swagatam Guru, and we welcome everyone to participate in this chorus chanting, and a humble request to all our senior citizens. The whole ceremony can be viewed on the LCD screen inside this hall. We leave it to your own discretion to which option you would choose. During the duration of today's program, also to those who need assistance to go to the washroom, or if you are not feeling too well, please raise your hands. Our volunteers are there to assist you. Now, our ushers will be at hand to guide you to the porch area. Thank you. Please rise.
Swagatam Guru Sharana Prada Guru. 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 Swagatam Guru Sharana Prada Guru 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 Swagatam Guru
Sharana Prada Guru
Swagatam Guru Sharana Prada Guru Swagatam Guru Sharana Prada Guru Swagatam Guru Sharana Prada Guru Swagatam Guru Sharana Prada Guru Swagatam Guru Sharana Prada Guru Swagatam Guru Sharana Prada Guru Swagatam Guru
Announcing.
Sharana Prada Guru.
Announcing the arrival of Swami Bhumananda Tirthaji, Swami Nirviseshananda Tirthaji, and Swamini Ma Guru Priyaji. Today is our 65th Independence Day. We will sing the national anthem to mark this day. Please stand. National Anthem. Jai Guru. Puja Swamiji will now inaugurate the center by unveiling the plaque. Swamiji.
परोपकाराय फलन्ति वृक्षाः परोपकाराय वहन्ति नद्यः परोपकाराय दुहन्ति गावः परोपकारार्थमिदं शरीरम् पिबन्ति नद्यः स्वयमेव नाम्भः स्वयं न खादन्ति फलानि वृक्षाः नादन्ति सस्यं खलु वारिवाहाः परोपकाराय सतां विभूतयः परोपकाराय सतां विभूतयः.
Jai Guru. Pranams to Swamijis, to Ma. Pranams Swamijis. These two beautiful shlokas are from Subhashitam. They have been selected specially by Swamiji, not only today, but in our ashram and centers around the world. Whenever there is any activity for dana or any social welfare, Swamiji likes us to chant these. He has selected these specially because in them the author mentions how even mute creations of nature are there for the benefit of all. The shlokas mean, it is for the benefit of others that trees produce fruits, rivers flow, cows shed milk. Likewise, this body, which is also a product of nature, is meant for serving others. Rivers never drink their own water, trees never eat their own fruits, and clouds never eat the grains to produce which they carry water. Likewise, the resources of good people are also meant for the service of others. We all are very, very blessed and fortunate that Pujya Swamiji is with us today. This is expressing his life. His body, his resources are all meant for the benefit of others, and we are blessed in the small part that we can also play in Swamiji's mission, so that our lives also become fulfilled. We offer our pranams to Pujya Swamiji. Swamiji is reminding me, I said that Swamiji's resources are always for the benefit of others. It is true. Whatever is offered to Swamiji is for the others. The shloka says that the resources of good people are also meant for the service of others. Also.
We humbly request everyone to go back into the satsang hall. Please take your respective seats. Thank you.
sahita smera prasannananam purnendu prabhamatmabodhanilayam shantam niriham param nitya vichara nirmatsaram pavanam Shri Bhumanandamaham natosmi Kalitanandam param shreyase Shri Bhumanandamaham natosmi Kalitanandam param shreyase Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Akhanda-mandalaakaram vyaptam yena characharam tatpadam darshitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Chaitanya Shashvata Shanto Vyomapito Niranjanaha Bindunadakarāditaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sthavaram Jangamam Vyaptam Yena Kritsnam Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Aneka Janma Samprapta Karmendhana Vidahine Atmajnanagnidanena Tasmai Shri Gurave
Jai Guru.
Namaha
My humble pranams to Swami Bhumananda Tirthaji, Swami Swayam Jayananda Saraswati Maharaj, Swami Nirviseshananda Tirthaji, Swamini Ma Guru Priyaji, all the respected and revered sannyasins, other renunciates, devotees, and spiritual seekers. We are very happy that you have joined us today. Today is a blessed day when Puja Swamiji is inaugurating our center, a day of celebration for our center, the Society for Inner Resources Development Malaysia, SIRD, to honor our history and traditions while glimpsing the future with confidence and hope. It is a day of reflection about our gurus and the traditions that have brought us to this point. My name is Elizabeth Segaran, your MC for today. We humbly request Dr. Aravindan to chant the invocation shlokas. These shlokas have been personally selected by Puja Swamiji.
Yam Shaiva Samupasate Shivaiti Brahmeti Vedantino Bauddha Buddhaiti Pramanapatavaha Karteti Naiyayikaha Yam Shaiva Samupasate Shivaiti Brahmeti Vedantino Bauddha Buddhaiti Pramanapatavaha Karteti Naiyayikaha Arhan Nityatha Jaina Shasanarataha Karmeti Mimamsakaha Soyam no Vidadhatu Vanchita Bhalam Soyam no Vidadhatu Vanchita Bhalam Trailokyanatho Harihi Soyam no Vidadhatu Vanchita Bhalam Trailokyanatho Harihi Advaita Bodhabja Sahasra Rashmihi Shanterlataya Kila Kalpa Vrikshaha Samsara Santapa Vinasha Chandraha Krishna Sada Hladakaro Mamastu Advaita Bodhabja Sahasra Rashmihi Shanterlataya Kila Kalpa Vrikshaha Samsara Santapa Vinasha Chandraha Samsara Santapa Vinasha Chandraha Krishna Sada Hladakaro Mamastu Krishna Sada Hladakaro Mamastu Krishna Sada Hladakaro Mamastu Krishna Sada Hladakaro Mamastu.
We humbly request Swamini Ma Guru Priyaji to light the inaugural lamp while Nutan Swamiji chants a shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam.
Antah pravishya mama vacamimam prasuptam sanjeevayathyakhila shaktidhara swadhamna anyamscha hastacharana shravanatvagadin pranan namo bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Pranan Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam.
Swami Bhumananda Tirthaji hails from Pagiri Hills in Thrissur, Kerala, which developed over the years into Narayanashrama Tapovanam, a center for intense research in spirituality and Vedanta. The ashram is also the fountainhead for the Centers for Inner Resources Development, SIRD, around the world, including the Society for Inner Resources Development, SIRD Malaysia. Puja Swamiji has conducted innumerable spiritual discourses and workshops in many parts of India and abroad. Since 2002, he has been conducting experiential Vedanta workshops. He has also written numerous enlightening books in English, Malayalam, Hindi, and Tamil. Narayanashrama Tapovanam publishes a monthly journal, Vichara Sedu, The Path of Introspection, in 3 languages. From 2010 to 2020, Puja Swamiji appeared daily in the Malayalam program Mukti Sudhakaram on Asianet TV. In 2011, Swamiji made his first appearance in the English program Inner Spiritual Splendor on Disha TV. This program still continues till today. Our journey with Swami Bhumananda Tirthaji began in 1972. In the early years, the discourses were mainly centered in Seremban. From 1998, a group of devotees from Kuala Lumpur and Petaling Jaya started sponsoring Swamiji's talks in the Klang Valley. On January 16, 2008, the organization was officially registered with the Registrar of Societies. The year 2020 marked a milestone in SRD Malaysia's history. The move to acquire our permanent premises began with Puja Swamiji's clarion call during a Skype meeting on 8 June 2019, where Swamiji delivered a powerful message as follows: "Now is the time to put all our efforts to have our own center. Don't be doubting Thomases, as it cannot be done by money, but heart alone. We will meet disappointment from expected quarters and surprises from unexpected quarters. We need people who have courage and tenacity." Deeply inspired by our Gurudev's exhortation and inspiration, we embarked on finding a permanent premises. However, the official inauguration of this new center had to be delayed due to the onset of the COVID pandemic. With the easing of the COVID pandemic, Puja Swamiji's aspiration was to conduct this official inauguration as soon as possible. Hence, we are all gathered here today. We have prepared a slide presentation of our journey from 1972 till now. We invite Shamini to the podium.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Jai Guru. Allow me to take you through a brief history of SIRD Malaysia. We will play here the slide projecting the stages that SIRD went through from 1972 to 2022. Okay. The history of SIRD Malaysia is presented in 5 different stages of SIRD's evolution, which are, firstly, when Puja Swamiji first visited Malaysia in 1972. Thereafter, when satsangs were held at devotees' homes. The next 2 stages will be when SIRD conducted satsangs and programs from 2 different rented premises. And the final stage will be when SIRD progressed to operate from its own permanent center. Swami Bhumananda Tirtha first came to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia in 1972 when he was invited and hosted by Sri Narayanan and his wife Srimari Padma of the Theosophical Society. Later, Sri Krishnan and Srimadi Kala of Seremban also hosted him. In the early years, Puja Swamiji was hosted by Sri Ranganathan and Srimati Bhagavati Ammal, and later by Sri K.R. Pillai and Srimati Leela of Srimban. Srimban devotees continued to invite Puja Swamiji and organize inspiring Brahmavidya talks in temples and spiritual centers such as Divine Life Society and Sri Ramakrishna Sarada Society centers in various towns in Malaysia. Sri Vijayaratnam and his wife, Srimati Pushpa of the Divine Life Society, also hosted Swamiji in Kuala Lumpur and played an instrumental role in taking him to various places. In 1998, a group of devotees brought Puja Swamiji on a professional visa so that public lectures could be held in the vicinity of Kuala Lumpur and Petaling Jaya. Thus began a momentum of spreading Brahmavidya knowledge of the self by Puja Swamiji. Puja Swamiji, accompanied by Nutan Swamiji and Ma, started being hosted in the home of Dr. Damodaran and Srimati Ambika in Petaling Jaya. After Puja Swamiji started coming to Kuala Lumpur, ardent devotees started Brahmavidya practice in Dr. Damodaran's and Srimati Ambika's residence after Puja Swamiji's visits. Initially, they met once a month and later progressed to weekly Sunday satsang meetings. In 2000, Puja Swamiji's Center for Inner Resources Development, CIRD, came up in Delhi. Soon, we in Malaysia were also keen to set up a Center for Inner Resources Development. It was in 2004 that Puja Swamiji devotees Sri Paramanathan and Srimati Vasanta offered Puja Swamiji the use of a house in Section 6, Petaling Jaya, for our weekly satsang activities. This became our first center. From 2005, Puja Swamiji, accompanied by Nutan Swamiji and Ma, started staying here during their annual visits to Malaysia. This here is our first center in Section 6, Petaling Jaya, and these are the satsangs that are held at the center. A group of devotees works towards registering the center. Under the advice of the Registrar of Society Malaysia, CIRD Malaysia had to be called Society for Inner Resources Development Malaysia. Thus, our center was officially registered with Registrar of Society on 22nd January 2008 as Society for Inner Resources Development Malaysia. In addition to Puja Swamiji's visits, in 2010, we requested Nutan Swamiji to come to Malaysia to have classes focused on how to practice Brahmavidya in our daily life. By 2012, as the number of devotees and activities grew, it became necessary to move to a more suitable building. The next SIRD center was in a rented premises in Section 11, Petaling Jaya. Here is our last center at Section 11, Petaling Jaya. SIRD conducted many of its satsangs, programs, and activities from this center for over 9 years. In 2019, during a Skype session, Puja Swamiji gave us a clarion call that it was time to have a permanent center of our own. During Nutan Swamiji's visit in February 2020, Puja Swamiji's call was actioned when, after an extensive search, we were able to locate this building. This is a photo that was taken during Nutan Swamiji's visit to the building. Okay. And this is the photo that was taken during the signing of the sale and purchase agreement for the building. Okay. The worldwide COVID pandemic outbreak hampered the modifications required to suit a spiritual center by almost a year. Nevertheless, once the new normal was installed, renovation works were continued and completed by February 2021. Here are some of the pictures of the center taken after the works were completed. On 28 March 2021, with the entry of Puja Swamiji's photo, we moved in officially into number 1 Jalan 22/40 Petaling Jaya, Selangor, our permanent address henceforth. It was a very great and touching moment for all devotees, both locally and abroad, who had waited for more than a year to make this dream a reality. Throughout the pandemic lockdown, online satsangs continued without a break. Children's cultural heritage classes were carried out online. In addition, a group of youths started learning Bhagavad Gita shloka chanting online. A few devotees continued to hold prayers in the mornings and evenings, and the physical satsangs resumed in June 2021. In 2022, a new workshop called 3+3 was designed to reach out to youth as well as other devotees. These programs, which emphasizes a practical approach to handling the mind and to empower young minds, has been conducted in Johor, Batu Caves, Kuala Kubu Baru, apart from in SIRD Center. Finally, the opening ceremony. An opening ceremony for this center could only be planned when Pujya Swamiji could travel to Malaysia. We were hopeful that we could hold such an event once the borders were open for travel in May. Today, we are fortunate that Pujya Swamiji, Ma, and Nutan Swamiji are here for this auspicious and historical day in SIRD's growth. We celebrated the arrival of Nutan Swamiji on 25th August 2022 and the arrival of Pujya Swamiji accompanied by Ma on 27 August 2022. Pujya Swamiji was welcomed with the Purna Kumbham and washing of his holy feet. Guru Archana was performed on 28 August 2022. We are truly blessed to have our Gurus present in our permanent center. We hope to bring this life-transforming knowledge to more and more people from all walks of life. SIRD aspires to spread the knowledge of inner resources for children, youth, young adults, and all spiritual seekers. Here are the regular activities that are conducted throughout the year at our center, namely, to name a few, daily prayers, satsang, Bhagavad Gita class, group meditation, and sloka chanting. For more information, feel free to collect our flyers placed at the reception. We hope to see more spiritual seekers joining and attending our programs and activities at SIRD. Thank you. Jai Guru.
Thank you, Shamini. Honored guests and spiritual seekers, with us today we have two renowned artists, Srimati Jayalakshmi Prem Kumar and Srimati Preeta Prasad. The human voice, it's the instrument we all play. It's the most powerful sound in the world. Srimati Preeta Prasad is a much sought-after award-winning music personality in the Malaysian music industry. She is now under the tutelage of Vidushi G. Sita Lakshmi Ammal from Trivandrum. Please welcome Srimati Preeta Prasad.
माधव मामवदेव Krishna Yadava Krishna Yadukula Krishna Madhava Mamava Deva 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 Sadhu Janadara Sarvabhauma Sadhu Janadara Sarvabhauma Sadhu Janadara Sarvabhauma Madhava Mamava Deva Madhava Mamava Deva Madhava Mamava Deva Krishna Yadava Krishna Yadukula Krishna Madhava Mamava Deva Ambujalochana Kambushubhagriva Ambujalochana Kambushubhagriva Ambujalochana Kambushubhagriva Bimbadara Chandra Bimbanana Ambujalochana Kambushubhagriva Bimbadara Chandra Bimbanana Chambeyana Sagra Lagna Sumoktika Chambeyana Sagra Lagna Sumoktika Sharada Chandraja Nitamadana Sharada Chandraja Nitamadana Madhava Mamava Deva Krishna Yadava Krishna Yadukula Krishna Madhava Mamava Deva
Thank you, Srimati Preeta Prasad. That was so melodious. And also for your dulcet voice. We now invite Srimati Jayalakshmi Prem Kumar Yalise Nayagi Kumari Shweta Prem Kumar, and Shri Conclusional Subramaniam on stage. Srimati J. Lakshmi Prem Kumar is the founder of Sahana Fine Arts Music School in Seremban. She is one of the leading women gadamists in Malaysia. Please welcome Srimati J. Lakshmi Prem Kumar, Yalise Nayagi Kumara Shweta Prem Kumar, and Balasubramaniam. Shri Balasubramaniam. Thank you. Thank you. Srimati Jayalakshmi Prem Kumar, Yalise Nayagi Shweta Prem Kumar, and Shri Balasubramanyam for your soothing rendition. Thank you so much. This is the first time, after many years, we have Puja Swamiji, Nutin Swamiji, and Maji visiting Malaysia together. Today is a big celebration. It truly is a big celebration for us. Nutin Swamiji and Ma are sannyasin disciples of Puja Swamiji. They were instrumental in the inception and growth of the Centers for Inner Resources Development in Delhi and Jamshedpur in India, USA, the Society for Inner Resources Development, Malaysia. Nutin Swamiji and Ma have been visiting Malaysia together with Puja Swamiji. Nutin Swamiji and Ma have played a very big role in the redesigning of this center. Nutin Swamiji is also the author of the book, A Great Association, Glimpses into the Life of Swami Bhuvananda Tirtha. And Swamini Ma Guru Priyaji authored the book, In the Company of My Lord. We humbly request Swami Nirviseshananda Tirthaji on stage. With great pleasure, we request Swamiji to say a few words. Swamiji.
Namo namaste gurave mahatmane vimukta sangaya saduttamaya Nityadvayanandarasasvarupine Bhumne Sada Paradayam Budhamne Namaste Namaste Vibho Vishwamurte Namaste Namaste Chidanandamurte Namaste Namaste tapoyogagamya namaste namaste shruti jnanagamya. Hari Om. That's it. Today is a blessed day, not only for us, I think for the whole mankind. I'm not saying only about the institution of SIRD Malaysia in their new form, in their own premises, but about any such endeavor in the world makes the day blessed. And particularly seeing all of you, I feel that it's your stepping into the center which is extremely important. Any devotional or spiritual center grows by the visit of the devotees. It's true of our pilgrimage spots also. That is why the saints and devotees are generally advised to visit the Tirtha Kshetras, the pilgrim spots, because it purifies the pilgrim spots. Like that, your padadhili, that means the dust of your feet, that will purify the center. Any time in the world, there are always two forces working. One is to follow our usual greed, selfishness, gain, orientation, followed by our sense organs, their own desires. It always takes us towards a degeneration of life. When we indulge in only that, it takes us towards destruction. There is correspondingly another force working in the society which tries to bring back the people, the society, the mankind on the path of auspiciousness. Any spiritual center like SIRD or anywhere in the world like our Gita Ashram, Divine Life Society, we can understand how long back our Shivananda Swamiji had established this Divine Life Society. Even now it is serving its purpose of purifying the society. So the center's main role is to generate that force which will bring back the society on its auspicious path. Left to itself, because all individuals are generally guided by their greed, selfishness, competition, and whatnot, there will always be the society force of degeneration working in the society. So it is a purpose of the spiritual and the devotional centers to generate the centripetal force, which is taking the society towards the center, to our own real identity, to our inmost level, and save the society from calamity. You can easily understand that India had been how long under the rule of foreigners, for almost 1,000 years or more, completely under the rule of the foreign invasion. But the culture, the spiritual current in the country has not withered, has not dried up. How is it that still the spirituality is living in India as well as in the other countries also? The effect of India was there at that time, from almost like Afghanistan to the Japan, you can say, where Buddhism also had its soul. So through this spiritual current in the spirituality has been trying to save the whole world, the mankind. Today, when it's not only our presence, when the Veena recital was going on, I was feeling that the denizens of the Devaloka and Gandharvaloka, they are showering petals. There is something very great in Indian culture. It's all centered on the pivotal concept, the pivotal pursuit of truth, the ultimate truth. Around that has grown all the musical culture, art, literature. Everything is based on that central truth. And what is that truth? That is the truth of our own identity. That is the I in us. And we think that we are small, we are weak, we cannot do anything. We are always haunted by the overwhelming power of greed and selfishness. It's not so. Really, we are universal. And this truth goes on telling us repeatedly, not only telling us, leading us to this truth, the ultimate universal truth, which we are in reality. So even the cultural centers which are based on classical, particularly this classical music and all, they are also serving the same purpose of bringing the society on the auspicious track. Particularly today, when I was listening, I felt that it was very good that we have arranged for such musical performance. It is part of our culture, which keeps this, which reminds us of the spirituality, of the importance of spirituality in our life. We always say that there are two stages of an individual's growth. Initially, when we come in contact with a Mahatma, or we even get initiated by him and start earnestly on the path of truth, we only think of our growth, our sadhana, our pursuit, our blissfulness, our joy, and our reaching the ultimate goal. But that is only the initial first step, the primary class. When we really grow and we understand the real growth is in expansion of our heart, in our becoming universal, then we understand the spirituality cannot stop in the individual growth. Not only that, if we feel that we have been benefited by spirituality or this path of truth, why is it that we don't feel to bring it to all others? If I have got great joy, I have got some blissfulness through whatever we have done, should we not try to get other people also to get a taste of that blissfulness and to walk on the path? So naturally, if I have got some association of a Mahatma, when I grow, I must think that this current which has flown into me, it must help others also. And how can it help others? There comes the institutions, the spiritual institutions, devotional institutions, to spread this knowledge to everybody. We don't understand that the thousands and thousands of years ago, we don't know, it is prehistoric. How many thousands? Nobody can say, we cannot measure it. This spiritual current has been flowing from that time onward. And it is not a theoretical knowledge that you can only study the Vedas, study the Upanishads and get the knowledge. It is a knowledge to be lived. Whatever is spoken of in spirituality is all about our own self. So if we come to know what is God, what is Atma, what is Brahman, you don't gain anything by that. Until you start feeling that I am that, you will remain as small as you are. So in that process of expansion, when we enfold the whole universe within our embrace, as my own, then comes the effort for establishing such centers, making the centers active. And it is by the participation of people who come and join the program, the center grows. The building and all the facilities, we are very happy to see everything. It's nicely done. It's a lot of facilities are there. We are very happy. It is all true. But it is only inert. It will remain dead unless there are devotees and seekers who contribute their austerity, their devotion. They come with their austerity, they come with their devotion, and the center helps them to grow in the process. All these, whatever we have got in the form of our premises, it becomes useless. We should remember that it is the participation of the people, participation of the devotees and seekers that makes a center alive, and that can keep the center living, going forward in the future also. And we should always try to make programs, have programs, invite people, welcome people to contribute to that austerity level, to that austerity fund, the austerity reservoir, so that it can grow to unlimited level. So it is not just a center of SIRD. It is a center of mankind, where the ultimate auspiciousness of mankind is brewing, is getting formed in the interactions of the devotees, seekers and all. If we are aware of it, if we pay honor to that, then the center will grow in its own dimension. We should remember that, and we should follow such activities, keeping eye on our behavior, on our words, on our actions, that are we behaving in an universal manner? Are we embracing the whole world? Are we trying to lead the whole world to auspiciousness or not? So today when the national anthem was sung, I felt very happy, emotional also. Because it doesn't matter whether it is our India or Malaysia or USA or anywhere in the world. We are touched by the growth of humankind. We are touched by the growth of the entire creation, not only the human beings, but the animals, the trees, the plants. Everything is ours. And when we have national feeling, nationalism, we will have the human approach to the entire mankind. We will have love for the whole creation also. So I am happy to be present today in this auspicious occasion. I feel blessed, and I feel all of you must be feeling blessed. Hari Om Tat Sat. Jai Guru.
With great pleasure, we invite Ma Guru Priyaji on stage. Ma. We humbly request Ma to say a few words.
Swamin Namaste Natalokabandho Karunya Sindho Patitam Bhavabdho Mamuddharatmiya Kataksha Drishtya Rijvyati Karunya Sudhabhivristya Swamin Namaste Swamin Namaste Swamin Namaste Swamin Namaste. Jai Guru. Jai Guru, Jai Guru. Before talking, I want to say that my voice gives me a lot of trouble. And although I want to chant, sometimes I'm not able to chant. So that doesn't matter. I'm very, very happy today. More than that, I too feel very blessed that I've been able to come and participate in this program with all of you. And so many faces, some known to me, some not known to me, some very old associations, and some new whom I would like to know. I think my association, I would like to tell about my association with Malaysia as well as the center. I've been hearing about Malaysia from Swamiji even before I came. That was in the 80s. I came in 1998 first, accompanying Swamiji. I used to hear about Malaysia, about the then devotees, many youngsters who used to write to Swamiji those days. And mentally I had a picture of this place. And when first time I accompanied Swamiji to Malaysia in 1998, I liked the country. Very beautiful. Lot of flowers, trees, plants, and buildings, very good roads, beautiful country. And the weather, everything was nice. And I also liked the people here. Very devoted. I found they were very devoted. Not only devoted to the deities and the temples, I found a lot of Guru Bhakti in them. You know, that time there were only few families who brought Swamiji here. Maybe 5 or 6 families, couples. But I found they were united together. And they have a lot of bhakti and fondness towards Swamiji. I remember those days, we used to have the Jnana Yajna programs in Siddhivinayagar temple in Pitalinjaya. And the programs would start at 7:45, would go on for 1.5 hours. After that, people will do pranam. It will be over quite late. And then Swamiji would come back. We were being hosted by Dr. Damu and Ambikaji. After Swamiji would take dinner, and we would all have finished, at 11:30 by night, we'll find this small group, maybe say 6 families, maybe 10 people, waiting for Swamiji in Dr. Damu's drawing room. For what? For satsang with Swamiji. And those satsangs, mind you, would carry on till about 1 o'clock at night. I feel those satsangs at the feet of the Guru, not considering the time of the day or night, sitting eagerly, wanting to know about the self, Brahman, and wanting to know about what is spirituality. Those were the seed of this center. I think then the seed was sown, and days passed, years passed, and I won't go to the history of this place. You have been shown the slides. It became quite big then. As years passed, people started coming, more people started knowing about Swamiji, and every year there were more and more people to listen. I also remember that along with Swamiji, I used to be taken to various other religious centers, visited the Gita Ashram, the Ramakrishna Mission, and every year the Divine Life Society. I knew Swami Guha Bhaktanandaji very well, and the simplicity that he had. Every year we used to go there and Swamiji used to talk. And Swami Gurubhaktanandaji would always request me to chant slokas. My voice was very good at that time. My voice had not failed. So even though I would sometimes say that, no, not necessary, he would say, no, Amma, you must say, chant. So I would be given a mic, and before Swamiji would start his lecture, as some few slokas I'll also chant. So there was a lot of connection with the Divine Life Society as such. So I'm very happy, Swamijis, that you have both come today and stepped into our center. As Nutan Swamiji was saying, that the center gets purified by the presence of devotees, and not to speak of saintly people. When they step anywhere, that place becomes purified and auspicious. And as the number of devotees grew, it was necessary that we shift to a center. You know, there are in the society temples and ashrams where anybody can go freely. Anybody can go at any time of the day and night. And such a thing is necessary for everybody. So when devotees grew in number, it was necessary that we shift to a center. And that is how our first center, and then we shifted to a second center, and this is our permanent center. We are very happy. We are very grateful to the providence and God that He has provided us with this center. And in the center, there comes the responsibility of the devotees, as Nutan Swamiji was mentioning. One is the individual sadhana, and another is the collective sadhana. Individual sadhana, everybody must be doing at their home. But being this kind of a center, I feel that people should come here for meditation, not only in groups, but any time when the mind is not all right, when the mind needs peacefulness, one can come and sit in this hall and meditate, or maybe pick up a book and read. In our lives, there are lots of ups and downs. The youngsters, the children, and anybody and everybody, we go through many of the ups and downs in life. So many questions are there in the youngsters. They do not know what to look for. And everybody, even though we have everything in life, sometimes we feel that we are not fulfilled, and there is something else by which we will be fulfilled and be peaceful. So where do we get it? We get it. We go to the temples, we do puja, but the mute God doesn't tell us anything. So there comes the role of these centers, where we can come, we can listen to the spiritual people, and like-minded people will be there with whom we can discuss. We can listen to the lectures, and we can do our own sadhana. This is how this center is. I remember when Swamiji first started staying in the center, as was shown in the slide, in 2005, the first center, Swamiji started staying. That year also I had accompanied Swamiji, and Swamiji, while leaving, told the devotees, the center is my body. As when I come, you look after me, my physical needs, and whatever is necessary for me. Similarly, the center has to be looked after. I have found that our Malaysian devotees, they have really lived up to that. All of them, I think, they have worked very hard from the time the first center had come up. They have worked very hard to keep up the centers, not only its upkeep and cleanliness, but having lot of satsangs. not only the satsangs on weekly basis, but satsangs, they started discussing and reading Swamiji's books, and by word of mouth, many youngsters started coming, and they started growing in number. This is what is necessary in a center, and that is how I think this whole thing has come about. And I would also like to say that in any group, how will the group grow? It is not only that we read, listen, and we come together on some occasions. The qualities that any human being must have, the qualities of a spiritual person must be imbibed. I think any center will grow only through love. Love for people, including everybody, forgiving people's mistakes, and then disseminating and spreading the values that any spiritual person has. This is what should be done. So I feel that I would like all the devotees here to come here and avail of these opportunities. The present devotees must throw open this place in love and fondness and invite everybody, include everybody. The joy and blissfulness that one gets in remaining together and spreading the knowledge, that joy and blissfulness should be spread to others, and not only spread, they should be called, others should be called to avail of that joy by being inclusive, telling them to come and do work along with everybody. That is what is necessary in any ashram or any center. The center, as Swamiji has said, it is the body of the saint. So the presence is there. So whenever people come here, they find that presence, and that the presence grows when there is devotional activities here. And mentally and spiritually, we also increase in our devotion and spirituality. There is a sloka in Viveka Chudamani which says, I would have chanted it, but now I cannot. So it is, Shanta Mahanto Nivasanti Santo Vasantavalloka Hitam Charantaha Tirna Swayam Bhima Bhavarnavam Janan Ahetu Nanyana Pitarayantaha. Any sage or saint, a Mahatma, a Guru, he is absolutely peaceful and tranquil in his mind. He is very noble and great, and he moves about like the spring breeze. The spring breeze, which is soft and cool, it cools everybody's mind and body. Similarly, any spiritual person who is elevated, he moves about in this world, bringing peace and happiness to everybody. He has himself crossed all the agitations and disturbances of life. So, without any motive, he helps others to go across this worldly ocean. The world is considered to be an ocean full of waves, the waves which hit us sometimes, even though we do not want it. So any sage and a saint who has known how to go across this ocean, worldly ocean, who has known how to remain afloat in this life, how to remain unaffected in the midst of all ups and downs in this life, he has known it by knowing himself, knowing the self. And by knowing it, he feels that it should be distributed, that joy, the happiness, that unaffectedness, the fearlessness should be distributed to everybody. This is the saint. And that is his mission. That is what he represents. And all those who are associated with him, it is their mission also. So whoever is in the center, all those who are running it, all the devotees who are associated with it, they have this responsibility to become like the saint and spread it everywhere. And all those who are in search of peace, happiness, fearlessness, unaffectedness in this life, they are to be included, they are to be called, they are to be welcomed and be a part of it. I tell all of you that please come, and whenever you come, whenever you wish, please come here and make this place your own. I am generally a person who has a lot of emotions. So seeing all of you today, I feel very emotional. This emotion is because my association with Malaysia is very long. I was counting, it is 24 years now. And in these 24 years, I think I'm quite close to this place. And as Nutan Swamiji was also saying, I also felt very happy to be here on this Merdeka Day, the National Day. And very strangely, I was also feeling, while this song was going on, any nationalist, any patriot, wherever he is, when the waves of patriotism comes, in whichever country it is, it touches the heart so much. To be a human being on this earth, a human being in this universe. This whole universe is ours. There is no division. We are constantly learning in Vedanta that we are the Brahman, the all-pervading, so there is no difference. It was a very good day today that we have had this program today. So with all my love, I embrace all of you, and I don't know how to express my love. I'm full of love and fondness for all of you. Jai Guru.
Thank you, Ma. Stage. We humbly request Swamiji to commence.
think so. This is not too much. Okay.
Is it okay, Swamiji?
I think so. Let me see. I will tell you if I am not comfortable. Harihi, Harihi, Harihi Om Tat Sat. Jai Guru. What is the time now? 11:35. I am able to see. Yam Shaiva Samuvasade Shivaidi Brahmedi Vedantino Bauddha Buddha Yidi Pramana Padavaha Kartedi Naiyayiga Arhan Nityatha Jaina Shasanarada Karmedi Mimamsaka Soyam Vo Vidadhadu Vanchita Phalam Trailokyanaatho Harihi Soyam Vo Vidadhadu Vanchita Phalam Trailokyanaatho Harihi. Nutun, will the other mic be better? It's okay. Shuddho Buddho Vimuktaha Sudishikhara Giram Mukhyatadparya Bhumi Yasma Jadam Samastam Jagadidam Amrutad Vyapya Sarvam Sthido Yaha Yasyam Sham Shavadharai Suranaravanajairekshitam Sarvametad Tam Bhumanam Mukundam Hridigatamamalam Krishnameva Prapadye Tam Bhumanam Mukundam Hridigatamamalam Krishnameva Prapadye Madhya Hridaya Kashe Sadanandamayo Guru Udetu Satatam Samyak Swatmananda Prabodhakaha Harihi, Harihi, Harihi Om Tats Jai Guru. This is a place of austerity. The entire growth from 1972, so far as my activities or pursuits are or were concerned, I think it has been a resultant and outcome of austerity. In spirituality, austerity is the first and the last word. So I would like all of you to do a good, though short, measure of austerity. What is that? Let us chant jointly 3 times the most auspicious monosyllable Om. We should do it in a very austere manner. So first of all, interlock your fingers and put them on your lap. Sit comfortably erect. Don't strain yourself. Then close your eyes. Open the heart and the mind and follow me. Not follow, join me. The joint recitation of Omkara, which we are able to produce from here, in your mind, every one of you should think that it should permeate the entire globe and shower its benedictions on all creatures upon the earth. Herein comes the austerity for you. Your body is very limited. But you don't understand the mind is unlimited. It is as much as even far bigger than space. Your kind mind can pervade the entire universe, and this is an occasion for austerely trying for it for all of you. My throat also is not as good as it was, so I am not able to chant well, but you should make whatever deficiency is there, make all of them do well. Here we go, 3 times. Visit to Malaysia is not new for me. I have been visiting this place ever since 1972. There was a gap in between for how many years, I don't know. 9 years. Otherwise, I have been coming regularly to Malaysia. I have been visiting several places, the estates I was taken to. I had been to East Coast, Kuala Terengganu, Kuantan and other places. We have visited Penang, Malacca. So many places we have visited. So it's very familiar. I have always felt that the society, the Hindu society in Malaysia, requires to be specially thought about by every one of you. Not all people are social thinkers. All of you are predominantly family people. You only have family thoughts. Almost like a crab. I and my family, I and my family, I and my family. Draw the further circle. What is the further circle? An individual is born in a family. A family is constituted by individual. So the birth of an individual is also the growth of the family. What is the next circle? A social segment. That social segment, it is constituted by families. So an individual of family, family of the social segment, and so many social segments together constitute the nation, and nations together constitute the globe. But mind you, all these are concentric circles drawn from the individual. Individual. The earth cannot think. Ocean cannot think. Air cannot think. Fire cannot think. Space cannot think. Plants cannot think. Animals and birds cannot think. Reptiles cannot think. The human alone can think. He alone can have intentions, goals, values, aspirations, achievements, glories, and what not. There is a difference between having been born a human and not having been born. All of us are already born. Consider that this is a fortune for you. How many people are able to evaluate human life in this manner? I think animals will do better. Have an evaluation about your own life. What is the difference between a human and the rest of the creatures? Bodily, the elephant is biggest. The whale also is still perhaps bigger. Our body is very small. The difference lies in our mind and intelligence. The inner resources that mind and intelligence carry. All of you say and feel mind. You will also say intelligence. But answer me if you can, whether you know how much of the resources are held by your mind and the intelligence. We always speak about exploiting the external resources, a word which I condemn throughout. You are nobody to exploit nature. You can harness nature, utilize nature. You can harmonize yourself with nature, integrate yourself with nature. You are nobody to exploit or deplete it. You are family people. As family people, you want to bequeath the best to your children in the same manner. As a group of people, as a society, as a nation, as global citizens, our intention should be to bequeath to the next generation a better earth, a better air, a better water, and a better atmosphere. Are we answering this call? Are we aware of it? I had a talk with Murali yesterday. He was telling me, there is no water in Indonesia, in many islands. So we are tapping from groundwater, borewell, etc. And as you take the water, tell me what will happen? The water is just like earth, supporting the whole weight. When the water is taken, it will subside and there will be floods. Are we not intelligent? I think I should stand up and ask you. Are we not intelligent? Can we not sense matters? Can we not forethink about the calamities that are going to face? What is the global temperature now? When is it going to reach the pinnacle? Are we doing justice to Mother Earth, water, air, etc.? The moment you step out of your family boundary, your feet is on the footpath or on the road. That does not belong to you. Can you live in a house without roads and transport systems? The dress we are wearing is not made by us. All the things that we are using are manufactured and delivered by somebody else, somebody else, somebody else. Why I am mentioning this? In every breath of ours, we are interconnected with the society. Interconnected. I will never allow you to say, I am an individual. No. You are a social being. You are a universal being. You have no right to think of your own children at all. Two people get married. The woman becomes pregnant and a child is born. Ha! Wonderful. We have become parents. I am very sorry for them. The moment they become parents, they should equally think of many other children in the world and many other similar families and parents. The birth of a child should become an expansion in their mind. Does it happen so, my dear householders? Have you ever told your children to have this expansion? My dear boy, as you are in the family, so the other children are in their families. The whole world consists of children. So have always a feeling of expansion, a sense of greater and greater identity for you. Unless we are able to evolve this expansion in our mind, do you think we are worthy of the food that we are eating? I have no qualms to say no, not at all. The human life, the difference is not in the body. There are different animals whose eyes are more powerful than ours. Nose, tongue, ear, skin, etc. Far more powerful than we have. Where we make the difference, we are able to think, know, share our thoughts and feelings and concerns with others, and we can group ourselves, join ourselves. We can create a sense of cooperativeness, collectiveness in our outlook and movement. This is the difference in us. Our Shastras discuss only 3 factors throughout their narrations. One is, what is the human personality? All of you have got a personality. Have you thought about what is this personality? I don't think any one of you will be able to answer me. The human personality is a composite one. In that composite personality, this body is only the external gross factor. And mind you, this body along with the senses are matter. A sentence I want to repeat millions of times. 80% of the body is water. It only contains matter. The body as well as the senses. The eyes which are seeing are matter. The ears which are hearing are matter. Our body is made up of food, and food is matter. Tell me whether matter is inert or sentient. I want a clear answer. Is matter inert or sentient? Inert. So are you only the body? Huh? Why are you looking only at the body? Huh? Our body is inert. It cannot produce any sensation. It cannot experience anything because it is matter. When objects contact the senses send electrical pulses to the brain center. And the entire process of experience and knowledge is taking place in the brain. Tell me, where is externality? Boliye na thoda. Where is externality? You are seeing your own body and the world. Tell me, where is the seeing? Answer me. Is seeing an external process? Yes. What? What are you saying? I told you the eyes are material in nature. They have no power to see. Only when they are animated and activated by the mind employs the senses, use the senses as a drilling machine by the driller, and then perceives. Perception always belongs to the perceiver. When I see you, you become an object for me. I am your seer. I am the subject and you are the object. The object alone is external. The seer and the seeing are internal. Am I talking Greek? Huh? What is it that you are saying? External. Where is your intelligence then? What about the mind and the intelligence? Are they external? Are they gross? Are they really part of the body? No, mind is associated with the body. It is not part of the body. This is where we say Center for Inner Resources Development. We want all of you to understand that you have tremendous inner resources. Tremendous inner resources. These resources are held by the mind, held by the intelligence. You have the mind and you have the intelligence. You use them only conventionally. What for? Maximum to study geography, history, electronic science, computer science and all that, and get a job, if possible go to America. This is all your purpose and mission in life. You have no regard for the neighbor, no regard for the society, no regard for the nation, no regard for the globe. How many people have lived married and have children? So many. Can we not be a little different from that? What is this? A society may consist of thousands and thousands of people. All of them are not given to thinking. All of them are not given to societal concerns and societal benefits, etc. But some at least will be there. It is these some that matter in the long run. How many scientists are there in the world, you tell me? How many historians are there in the world, you tell me? Rarity does not make it insignificant or irrelevant. So the human life is meant for exploring and harnessing the inner resources held by the mind and the intelligence. Your mind can do wonders. I will just now tell you the capacity and the potential of the mind. Our eyes are very small, the smallest organ that we have. But do you know the power of this eye? It can see infinite distances. An eye specialist told me that if you place a sizable object at infinite distance, the naked eye can see. We are already seeing stars placed at many light years distance. This eye, tell me, which has produced these eyes? The mother had a child in the womb. The fetus started growing. In the growth of the fetus, Mrs. Mother has no place at all, nor the father. Mother has eaten for her stomach, that's all. She has not done anything for the child. The fetus took blood cells for its own food and it started growing and growing and growing, generating one organ after the other. And eyes also are made. When it came here, it made the nose, then the lips, the tongue, ears, etc., etc. This growth, you tell me, is it internal or external? There are doctors in this assembly. They can correct me if I say so wrong. Nobody has contributed anything to the growth of the fetus in the mother's womb. In about 7 to 8 months, the whole process is over and the child comes out. It is ready to interact with stars, sun and moon. Can you imagine the power we carry? What more do you want? In about 7 to 8 months, a child is born, capable of interacting with the world to any extent necessary. My mouth is becoming dry. I used to never take chocolates. That also. Now I am bound to, though it's a medicinal one. See, our mind, I already told you, you see a tree. The tree stands there, you are here. You don't go to the tree and the tree doesn't come to you. Yet you see the tree. Tell me how? Our mind, employing the eyes, takes a picture of the tree. That picture is a mental imprint in the mind itself. Do you ever see the tree? Only the mental imprint of the tree you see. So the mind sees its own imprint in itself. If this principle you accept, you are seeing the entire world. Tell me where? Where? Within the body, in the mind. Tell me what is the magnitude and potential of the mind then. Is the mind smaller than the world, or it is bigger and bigger than the world? Such a dimension you carry. When I tell you have expanse, let the mind become broader, it is not an impossibility, my dear souls. It is a sure possibility. Ayamevahamityasmin sangoje vilayam gade samasta bhuvanavyabi vistara upajayade. This is India. This is Hinduism. Ayamevahamityasmin sangoje vilayam gade. My dear man, Vasishtha tells the 16-year-old Rama, Prince of Ayodhya, when that sankocha, that constriction in your mind, that I am, this gross, matter, physical body. You don't say I am the body at all. You always say my body. When you say my body, can it be the I? I want an answer. Huh? My car, can it be you? My house, can it be I? So when you say my body, automatically it means it is not yours. Everything is mine, my mind, my intelligence, my ego, my riches, my children, my wife, my husband, my world, my God. Everything is referred to as mine. It is a possessive case. The nominative case, I, it is different from all this. So we are having a delusion, an ignorance, a corruption, a catastrophic corruption we have. What is that? Ayameva ahamityasmin sankoche vilayam gade. This constructed body is myself. This is the construction that you have. Dissolve it, my dear Rama. Samasta bhuvana vyabhi vistara upajayade. Then your mind will beget a universal expansion. Here are two options before you, my dear seekers. Do you want to remain constricted, or would you like to rise to the level of expansion? Tell me, what is your option? Be not late. Already you are late. Don't make it further. Samasta bhuvanavyabi vistara upajayate. Yeva yatna kriyate bahyarthoparjane janaihi sayeva yatna kartavyaha purvam prajna vivardhaye. These are slokas from Yoga Vasishta Ramayana. Sage Vasishta's dialogue with Sri Rama, which lasted for 18 days from morning to evening, sunrise to sunset, in the palace of Ayodhya. He says, we are making efforts to get our children educated. What kind of an education, I don't understand. What is meant by education? We are all living. We must know what is life. Then alone you can improve your life. If you want to know what is life, life is an expression of ourselves, our personality. Should not our personality become a subject of study for us? It is a composite, I said. In the composite personality of ours, our body and senses consisting of dead matter alone is not all. We have the inner personality consisting of mind, intelligence and ego. This inner personality is what employs the external personality and does all activities and interactions. Now you tell me, your focus should be more on the mind and intelligence or on the body? Boliye na thoda. Have you done it? What are you going to do for it? This is what Vasishta says. Yeva yatna kriyade bahyarthoparjane janaihi sayeva yatna kartavya purvam prajna vivardhaye. Whatever effort you are making for getting hold of external objects, this, that and all, the first attempt should be to improve your sense of awareness, to improve your consciousness, understanding of your inner personality consisting of mind, intelligence and ego. This can be done only when you sit in a place, close your eyes and do introspection. We were coming from the airport. Ramakrishnan was driving. Unni also was there. Ma sat on my right, I sat on the left. Generally, I pick up a conversation and we started discussing. So it was so sweet for me to hear. Unnikrishnan said, Swamiji, it is all a question of introspection. We are introspecting, therefore we are improving. Why don't you teach your children to sit in a place at least for 20 minutes closing the eyes? That is the greatest training that you can give. Close the eyes and sit for 20 minutes. What will they do? They will observe their own mind, what is inside the body, what is inside the body. If you train the children like that, You will find it is a great investment which will pay huge dividends when they grow. Teach them. I am not asking you to train them to drive the horses. Simply ask them to sit. They will find it difficult, but even then you tell them sit. Appeal to them. Inspire them. Activate them. So we have the academic education. Science and technology are taught. Everything is okay. Where is mind engineering taught? Intelligence engineering, is it ever taught anywhere? Unless you are able to handle the mind, how can you grow? How can you have any kind of an improvement? See, this center is called the Center for Inner Resources Development. I am still doubtful whether the people associated with our own center have thought enough about what is meant by inner resources and what is meant by developing them. The resources of the mind and the resources of the intelligence, you have to know more and more and more. We must be able to delve into it. This delving is possible only when you close your eyes and take to introspection. Don't think that introspection is something that you don't know. If there is anybody good and he has risen to a good position, it means he is thoughtful. He is thoughtful and also intelligent. That thoughtfulness is called introspection. But your thoughtfulness are object-based. As a doctor, as an engineer, as a computer man, you may introspect and think about your professional skills, etc., etc. The type of introspection that spirituality calls for is infusional introspection. Say that. What is meant by infusional introspection? Do introspection in such a manner that the benefits of the introspection will be instilled into the mind and intelligence itself. So introspection should be to improve the quality of the mind, the potential of the mind. In other words, it is for qualitative enrichment of the mind and intelligence. The more and more you do it, you will find you are very, very different. Let me ask you a very simple question. What does the mother do for the child? She only feeds the child. That means she nourishes the child, mostly nourishing the child. And the body grows by itself. There is something called the self-arresting condition. So at the age of 21 latest, the body stops growing. Thereafter it begins to decline. But that is the time you have become an adult and you begin to think and make choices. At that particular time, the body has completed its growth and it is declining. So tell me now, in the decades of life that follow, you tell me very clearly which part of your personality is supposed to grow? Huh? Boliye na thoda. Mind. Is the mind growing? You celebrate your birthday. I have no objection. But along with the celebration, you also introspect to find out, over the year, has my mind grown and expanded? What about my intelligence, its capacity to assimilate the world inputs, assimilate them, and become enriched by the inputs? Have I grown? Why don't you introspect it? Then only you become a human. Otherwise, you are worse than an animal. This is something very important. You cannot ignore it at all. Ignore it at all. So spirituality is a mento-intellectual pursuit. Will you say that? Spirituality is a mento-intellectual pursuit. There is no flower. There is no idol. Nothing is there. It is the application of your own mind and your own intelligence. Foster good thoughts, expansive thoughts, lofty thoughts, kindly thoughts. The primary thoughts are love, sympathy and sacrifice. All the virtues are an expansion and multiplication of these. This is one point. Then think, and grow. I always remember Newton. When we went to UK particularly, I was looking at the apple tree. Newton also went near an apple tree. Apples from different branches were falling. Falling from here, from there. All are parallelly and perpendicularly falling. Others picked up the apple and ate. Newton did not bend or pick up. He said, why is the apple falling? He thought for a year. And in the year end, he found out that it was the gravitational pull of the earth that brings the apple down. My dear souls, what matters here? Was it the apple or its fall that mattered, or was it Newton's inquiry, Newton's introspection? Don't you have the same brain? I even tell children, Sri Rama had one body, 2 eyes, 2 hands and 2 legs. Krishna also had these. You also have. What is the difference between Sri Rama, Sri Krishna and you? You call him God and escape your responsibility. Don't call him God. He says, many people have attained to my nature. They have become like me, he says. And he uses the present tense in Bhagavad Gita. Even now they are happy, it is happening. So don't you have a mind? Don't you have an intelligence? What prevents you from becoming a Newton? I really don't understand. My dear souls, it is not enough if you eat. It is not enough if you sleep. You should always think. Understand. I recently started telling people, because of lack of introspection, I said, I generally don't read. I have read, I read very little. But whenever I read, I think. So I have read to understand. I have understood to become. And I have become to be. This is my formula. What do you say? Do you like it? I don't read unless I want to understand it. And I don't understand until I want to become what I have understood. When you know that you are not the body, but you are the indweller in the body, body is mine, it is matter, external, gross. I am a living presence, the inner presence, the living presence. I cannot be the body at all. When you agree or at least understand this, should you not spend enough time of introspection to stabilize this knowledge and to rise up to it? What is your answer? Yes or no? Yes. I think my purpose is over. See, I was traveling in Kerala. I would never speak about intelligence and all that. I was always speaking in a devotional trend. I visited one village called Vandagara. So I told one Kuttannayar there, see, whenever I read Shastras, I seem to be easily understanding them. There is no conflict or difficulty. Then he said, Swamiji, for you it may be easy. But for people like us, we have to apply a lot of rationality and logic to understand it. I changed my perception from that day. People want rationality, clarity of thought and intelligence. So I started speaking in a rational manner. Not till then, afterwards. So I am presenting these propositions to you so that you can never, I say, anybody in this world come and contradict what I say. From Regional Engineering College, Jamshedpur, Shankar brought a few friends of his and all of them started speaking. So after spending a little time exchanging pleasantries, I said, you are all students learning engineering. You believe in the role of intelligence, is it not? Yes. Now suppose I tell you anything in a rational manner, appealing to your intelligence and clarifying it, making it completely clear to you, will you accept? Yes. After accepting, will you implement that acceptance? Yes. Then I began to talk to them. God is present everywhere, inside as well as outside. Why is it that, my dear souls, you are missing Him? You have no right to miss God. Huh? You are doubtful. Whom am I forgetting? God. When I remember, whom am I remembering? So in my forgetfulness as well as in remembrance, you are there. So I have neither to forget nor to remember. I am myself you, my dear God, and you are me. I live cheerfully, contentedly. I always want to be a little trouble-free, comfortable, so that I can speak about you, think about you, etc. Don't put me into trouble, not right. I want to call you smilingly, not cryingly. Many people will say, what is this? Can we not call him in this cheerful, contented manner? I think all this comes under introspection. Our spirituality is always to harness the inner resources. This is an institution. It has had its own growth. Generally, every individual thinks about himself, his family. This is the way. Rarely it occurs to an individual that he has some social feelings and concerns. Rarely a person is there who feels that I should do something for the society and develops a societal concern. The whole world of creation is there, but mind is available only in individual bodies. So thinking is possible only in the individual mind. Am I clear? So if anything social has to be done, society cannot do it. The thought process has to occur in the individual brain, in the individual mind. So he expresses and shares his concern with the others, his friends and well-wishers. Some of them say, very good, it is good. So that amity, closeness, affinity, it has already been born. Then they start thinking, what shall we do, what shall we do? In our tradition they say, then 3 or 4 people sit together and think. There is the presence of God there. Some thought will come which none of these 4 people has thought about. Something suddenly will come. So they sit together and then automatically a plan of action is evolved. They start working. The institution has already grown from the individual mind. Now once they start discussing and trying to do, then they feel we must have a place. Because we cannot do social thinking remaining in a family or a house. So we must have a place for ourselves. So that sprouting is taking place there. And a place is acquired where you can easily go. And have freedom to think. In a house you cannot go like that and come away like this. So this is called the growth of an institution. I think SIRD has come like that. Not by any other process. We have a CIRD in Jamshedpur, 30,000 square feet area are there. I went to Jamshedpur, remember here? 1965 I went first to Jamshedpur. I have visited that place consecutively for 53 or 54, 55 years. In Delhi also I have visited, how many less? 20. 20 years less. 10 years less. In both places we have a center. We started in a family hosted us. Gradually, hosting by a family was not harmonious, so there was a necessity for a place. Naturally, something came up. Here also it is like that. Nobody thinks about an institution unless he has got a social mind. We have to do some work, so we must have a building, we must have a place. And then remaining there, we have to pool our thoughts, and thereafter many things come. We have built a Sabhaniketan in Naimisharanyam, Parlikad. Parlikad also happens to be my body's birthplace. We are conducting a Srimad Bhagavata Tattva Samiksha Satram, where thousands of people assemble early in the morning, even before 8 o'clock, and they depart only at 7:30 in the evening. It is a dusty place, paddy field. So I felt after 3 years, 4 years, we must have a place for them. I think some 1 or 2 years back, we decided to go in for it. It was not easy at all. There is no ground area also. I wanted a place where 5,000 people can sit. But that is not possible. 3,000 people at least can sit. It is called Sabhaniketan. If any one of you comes to India to our ashram, we generally may ask them to go and see. It's a huge area. 3,000 people can sit and nearly function. Can you imagine? And that too for 10 days. Not 1 or 2 days. Because of COVID we could not. So we will be inaugurating it this December, and again for the first time we will conduct it in a very open manner. The last 2 years. And this function was going on for 18 years. I think this year will be the 19th year, is it not? 20 years have passed. So that institution, it grows in the mind of a person. And once a place is had, now everything will be all right. Now this institution has come up. I would like to tell you what all happened as much as I can remember it. I came to Malaysia first in the year 1972. Mr. Narayanan, who was working in ICI, that British company, and his wife Padma, they hosted me, they brought me here. I was talking in Ramakrishna Mission, Ramakrishna Math or so, Brickfields, in that hall. Then next time, I think it is Krishnan and Kala who brought me here. Krishnan was an engineering lecturer. Kala was his wife. I don't know whether any one of you knows him. Anybody who knows Krishnan and Kala? They took me to Ranganathan and Bhagavati Ammal in Sirambal. I started saying, Ranganathan hosted me, saying that you must stay here for 1 month, etc. Meanwhile, in Kuala Lumpur, our Divine Life Society, Vijayaratnam and Pushpa, hosted me. That was the time I was very close to Ishwaran and Vignesh, Vijayaratnam's children. I found Ishwaran to be very intelligent, very unusually receptive. He used to have very good discussions for me. He was a young boy, and he was explaining to me about Malaysia, about the per capita income in Malaysia being 3 times of India. Many things he used to say. So I was explaining to him about the body, my body, and I myself. That boy picked it up. He picked up the point. He said, hereafter now I will think about what is this I, whose body this is. I remember. I gave him sacred thread, both the boys. Put it in a ceremonial manner. I have stayed with Pillai and Leela, who introduced us to our Dr. Damu and Ambika. If my memory is correct, When I was in Seramban, Unnikishan and Govindan Gutti, was it not Govindan Gutti? Both of them came to me. They came and spent leisurely quite a lot of time with me. And Unni was the main representative there. I think he recorded some of the things that I spoke. I said, why are you recording? I am interested in spreading it, he said. Years passed. I don't think I was so much in contact with, or Unni was in contact with me. Some years passed. Then he came on the scene again. Unnikishan's consistency and tenacity are exemplary indeed. He hears my talks, repeats the words and phrases. This is how you learn. Is there any word which you have learned all by yourself? You listen to people, observe them, read books. The best will be to have friends. When I went to Calcutta in my young age, I was a boy from Kerala. Calcutta was a Bengali place, and then the office English. So I could not speak English at the time. I have not studied in an English medium school, but we were taught English very well, 2 classes every day. So I was tongue-tied. So one day I went to the park and somehow made friends with a Bengali boy to whom I could not speak Bengali or any other language, only English. So I started fumbling and speaking to him. Our friendship lasted for a few days. I don't know anything about him thereafter. But meanwhile, I became somewhat fluent in speaking English. Why I am saying this? You must always be interacting with the people. And whenever you hear, whenever you see something, try to pocket it by remembering it. Unnikishan liberally uses the phrases and concepts which I use. So I am very happy. This is how knowledge grips one and makes him spread the knowledge that he has. In all this, whatever has taken place with me or around me, with all of you, understand that the invisible spiritual laws of providence are what matter. Very innocently and openly I say, I have not set up an ashram called Narayanashrama Tapovanam. I have in instituting Narayanashrama Tapovanam and in making it grow. I have done nothing. My wealth, if you ask me, my wealth is I am nothing and I want nothing. I want nothing and I am nothing. Nothing. With this nothingness, can you imagine the dimension of the mind? Who is there in the world who will say, a ton of gold is given to him? No, I don't want. To say that, don't you think he must be richer than that ton of gold? Similarly, when you say, I want nothing, behind that statement, my heart is full, abundant, abundant. It is in profusion. This is what we mean by inner resources development. Don't be a beggar before the world. Don't be a taker from the world. Be a giver, a noble giver. Teach your children to give. I will put that arithmetics the other way. If you have to give, you must have, is it not? So when you start giving, tell me whether you will have more or less. Tell me. You cannot give until you have. So have the aspiration to give. Automatically you will have more. God will conspire to see that your hands are strengthened, because givers are very few in this world. Takers are more. All are selfish. Selflessness is very rare. For many years, we were with Dr. Damu and Ambika. From there, we moved to a building which Param and Vasanta made available for our activities. After being there for a while, we moved to a rented building. See how the institution grows. How the institution grows, you see. Years passed. Thoughts to have something of our own, your own, this kind of a thought process became evident in some people, so naturally they were speaking about it. Everywhere I find the unseen hands of providence working. Nothing is here man-made. Man-made. One day, I don't know, which year do you remember? Unnigishan's wife Rema told me, when we were in the previous rented building, Swamiji, we must have a center here. Center here, I also feel. I had thought about it a few years, some time back, that do you have the resources for it? Will it be possible? She said yes. We are here, some others also will help us. So I picked it up from there. Building of the center, I asked them, how much will be the cost required? What is it? They were saying some 3.5 million ringgits. Converted into Indian currency, it will become crores in our language. Multi-millions. And unfortunately, we cannot send any money to Malaysia, even if we have. We would have sent some money, but we cannot send. We will not be allowed. Our ashram is a trust, and one important condition is that you will not spend any money in foreign land. That assurance, every time we have to write and certify. So, people started making offers and all that. I felt that Malaysia alone will not be able to build it. So let us mention about this to the other people. So I spoke to people in the United States, UK, Gulf countries, and maybe some others. All of them liberally responded. And then, as I understand, it is now I don't know how much shall I say, 4 million. Huh? Close to 4 million ringgits. If you ask me, I don't find any possibility for having this kind of a center. And the center is made. Swamiji Nutun Swamiji saw the place. I was particular that somebody should come, but if he comes, that would be the best. Everything is done well here. All of you should take a visit, go around and see. Everything is done beautifully and well. Everywhere it is roomy, it is spacious. Aesthetically it has been done. And the man who built it earlier, he had also done it. We would not have done all these things. It's all providential. Absolutely providential. Do not claim the center, any one of you. It is of the society. It is of the society, for the society, by the society. Society for Inner Resources Development. I want to tell you about the inner resources, how it works. 3 boys started walking and went near a hill. They looked up, quite tall. So being children, they would generally like to go up the hill. But the hill was tall. So they decided, shall we go up? One boy said, I cannot climb. I will not come. The second boy said, I don't think I will be able to climb, but maximum I can attempt at least half the height. The third boy said, what is the point in speaking like this? Our feet may be small and the hill may be huge, but the hill is stationary. It does not move. Every time we place our foot above like that, the hill loses its height. We become taller. So let us walk. So they started walking. One boy, after half the distance, he said, I am tired. I am not able to walk. The third boy did not leave. He climbed. Put his foot right on top. Tell me, where is the hill now? It is under his feet. Who is taller? The hill taller or the boy taller? This is what we have. This is what we have. Teach your children. Mentally you are unrestricted. Mentally you are infinite. 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 The infinite distances, infinite variety we see around. It is all perceived by, contained by your mind within the body. Is not the mind bigger than what you see? Understand the glory of the human mind. Glory of the human mind. Nobody should miss it. Let this SIRD be an occasion, a persuasion and an inspiration to make people think about the inner resources they have held by the mind and the intelligence. I don't know whether you know about sannyasa. 3 + 1 + 2, 5 sannyasins are in the midst. When we conduct our Srimad Bhagavata Tattva Samiksha Satram in Naimisharanyam, a number of sannyasins come. We give special regard and consideration for them. All of them are not very resourceful, they will also come. So this is an assembly, at least 5 sannyasins are there. I think all of you are very, very fortunate, Baba. It's almost resembling like Vaikuntha. What is this? But what is this sannyasa? Have you understood it? Atmano mokshartham jagadhitaya cha. It is for getting liberation for oneself and for benefiting the world. A sannyasin is the most societal man. He owns nothing. He wants nothing for himself. Whatever he does is for the society. Whereas a family man, he does everything for members of his family. There are 2 sons of a father. One became very rich and the other was not. There was a huge wealth for him. The rich son has got only 1 son. The other has got 2. When he bequeaths the property, that rich son will bequeath everything to his single son, not give a share of it to his brother's son. Am I clear? Huh? No? Am I speaking a lie? You people are like that. See, we were born of the same mother. Let me have a brotherly consideration. I have crores. Let me give at least 1 or 2 millions to my brother. That kind of a thought never occurs to you. So I call them accursed householders. What? Not blessed ones. You must think of your brothers. You must think of your sisters. Why do you bequeath all the property that you have to a single son? For what purpose? Give him as much as he wants and place it at the disposal of the society. It is the society that has enabled to earn. See, I have a message for the industries. I don't discuss it in detail, it will take time. Do you know the industry, by calling for public shares, get the money from the public? They sell their goods and the purchasers are again the public. So you tell me, the industry should be first and last concerned with the welfare of the society. So in sannyasa, it is what we want is moksha. Moksha is something to be gained by the mind and intelligence. So we don't grab anything from the world. We want only our internal fulfillment. And to the society and the world at large, we give. And what can we give? There are two kinds of service. Either you give food, shelter and clothing for the body, or you give peace and contentment to the mind and knowledge to the intelligence. This SIRD is one where the second part of service is. You cater to the needs of the mind and the needs of the intelligence. Vidya Dana is far superior to Annadana. Annadana is for the body. Vidya Dana is for the mind, heart and the intelligence. I had visited many estates and I have come to know about the situation there, the type of people, etc. Now, this center has been inaugurated. We were already working, we were active in another. According to me, this is like the birth of a child. You celebrate the birthday. How many days will you inaugurate? Only one day, one time. Like the birthday of a child. But this is a common child of several people. Now what should be your concern now? To nourish the child and to bring it up usefully, benevolently and beneficially. This is the responsibility of all of you. Can I expect you to rise to the occasion and see that the center is maintained and it is devoted fully to the development of inner resources in themselves as well as in the society? I am asking you. I entrust this responsibility on mission on all the people concerned. Can I expect you to rise up to the occasion and fulfill it? No answer. On the basis of the knowledge I have about the Hindu society in Malaysia, I have to say that we have to strengthen the society. Strength comes only from the mind and the heart. Our body, however much you may strengthen, will it not age? My body is running 90th year. I don't feel the age, but I have to respond to the body. So, everything is aging here. So, to strengthen the society, what should you do? Strengthen the mind and strengthen the intelligence. Here comes the primary role of a SIRD. Unnikrishnan explained to me that they have made a special workshop for their youth saying 3 plus 3. It's very interesting. The 3 plus 3, the attendants and participants were very inspired and they are going to do it in a greater measure. Now I will say, your next workshop will be 5 multiplied by 5. Now 3 plus 3, go in for 5 into 5. Before long, the center should host a national event. And after that, I would like you to hold an international event. Apart from your regular 3 plus, etc. This is the ideal I place before you. I always like to do good things and big things. All the people gathering together, chanting the name of God. Here also I want to do it. Now we have a center, so we can start perhaps. Everyone can chant the name of God. And when you chant, you will find all the knots of your heart, shackles of the mind and heart all of them will simply poof. I would like to recite some 2 or 3 Sanskrit verses which really deal with the subject. What is the subject? Strengthening the mind. How to develop inner resources. Krishna was talking to Uddhava. Krishna gave 2 messages. One when he was young in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, just after the war cries were raised and before the arrows were discharged. Are you understanding it? Yes. War cries were raised by both armies and they were about to commence discharge of arrows. In between, Arjuna got into a delusion. So Krishna spoke very fiercely to redress his delusion, fear, doubt, etc., and to make him fit. And he succeeded. Arjuna gained back his courage, etc., and fought for 18 days and won the war. The next advice Krishna gave was from Dwaraka, when he was 125 years old. 125 years old. He decided to depart. Uddhava said, "You are departing? I cannot think of it. I cannot think of keeping away from you. Are you following me? Huh? Shall I stop for a while to make you more attentive?" He said, "I am going." He came to know of it. Brahma came and submitted a memorandum that you should come back to Krishna. Krishna agreed. But I shall come back after one more event I have to bring about. My family, my clan has become very proud. As long as I am here, I can control them. They will listen to me. The moment I go, they will be like oceans overflowing the boundaries. They will destroy the society. So I will bring about quarrel within themselves and destroy them, then I come. Uddhava was very much afflicted. I cannot keep away from your lotus feet, even for half a second, he said. So when you go, take me also along. Is it ever possible? Sometimes twins are born. When one person goes, can he take another also? You also come. It is not possible. So Krishna said, Uddhava, I understand your problem. Your problem is I will go and you will be left. Let us reverse it. You go and leaving me. I will make you go so that you have no problem. Anyway, on the 7th day, the entire Dwaraka will be underwater and it will not be nice to live here. So you leave everything and go. Uddhava, he got into trouble. Whatever Krishna says, he will do. He was ready to. But when he said, leave me and go, he could not. My dear Lord, whatever you say I should do and I will do. But I am not able to. Why? Because of the shackles of the mind and the shackles of the heart. I am not able to overcome this delusion over the body, over the family, over the members, etc. So give me such efficient instruction so that these internal defects will be removed and you will make me fit to do as you say. This is the last advice Krishna gave. One was in the din and bustle of the battlefield to make Arjuna fight victoriously. Another was to enable the loving Uddhava to leave him to Ashrama in Himalayas. And mind you, my dear souls, there is a lot of wisdom in all this. After listening to Krishna, Uddhava did leave. He only wanted, give me your sandals, footwear. He put it on his head, turned back cryingly and went away. During that time, he has mentioned many things about inner resources development. One sloka that comes to my mind is Munihi prasanna gambhiro durvigahyo duratyeha Anantaparo hyakshobhya stimito daivarnavaha. Whenever I see these verses, it is festivity for me. It is celestial garden for me. Munihi prasanna gambhiraha. You know who is a muni? Who is given to introspection? Mananashilaha. You must use your mind, reflect upon, introspect upon. Prasanna gambhiraha. Say that. All of you say, my dear souls, Prasanna gambhiraha, Prasanna gambhiraha, Prasanna gambhiraha. Profoundly cheerful, cheerfully profound. Have you ever heard such an expression? Search the entire English literature. Profoundly cheerful. A child also will be cheerful if you give it a toy. But that is not a cheerfulness, it's a superficial cheerfulness. This is profundity is there. Prasanna gambhiraha durvigahyo. You cannot measure his depth, loftiness, magnitude, merit, excellence or potential. Body alone you can see, the mind cannot see. Durvigahyo, duratyaha, none can excel him. Anantaparaha, he is unbounded. Akshobhya, never afflicted or agitated. Stimito the ivarnavaha. He is like the not turbulent sea, the sea which is very peaceful. What is this indicating? All these are qualities of the human mind which the mind can acquire, display and manifest liberally, lavishly. My dear souls, should you not know about this? Huh? Yes or no? Yes. Should you not know? This is the greatness of your mind. This is a potential, a possibility which you have. Why don't you enter into your mind and then develop it? Develop it. Chant this sloka 100 times. You will find these qualities begin to grow. I always say 50 mind hours will get you any quality that you want. I have a disciple Rajiv in Delhi. One day he told me, he was a man given to meditation right from young age. Swamiji, I can do many things, but I don't have the commitment to do it. I lack commitment, I lack dedication. How many qualities you lack? I lack. So what do you want? Tell me something by virtue of which you can develop these qualities. I started laughing. And I said, will you do what I say? Yes. 2 qualities you pick up. What are they? Commitment and dedication. I said, go on saying commitment, 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 commitment. I want to be committed. I want to be committed. I am committed. I want. Go on saying this in thousands of times. And tell me after 4 or 5 days. He telephoned saying that Swamiji, I have become committed now. Dedication also is there. My dear souls, it is not bodily exertion that is required here. It is inner exertion, inner employment, inner application, inner assiduousness. Munih prasanna gambhiro durvigahyo duratyaya anantaparo hyakshobhya stimito daivarnavaha. When I read it, I found, is this the dimension of the human mind? Can it rise to this kind of a potential, magnitude, majesty and magnificence? What are we trying to think? The body is becoming old. It can only live with the health and strength of the mind. What does Krishna say in the 2nd chapter? Dukkheshu anudvignamanaha sukheshu vigataspruhaha. Dukkheshu anudvignamanaha. When dukkhas, griefs, afflictions come, your mind will not get agitated. Sukheshu vigataspruhaha. When pleasure and happiness come, never be deluded. Don't you think this is a capacity that we have? I can prove it to you. See, Sukha and Dukkha are alternates. What? One follows the other. Either cannot be without the other. So the Sukha is depending upon Dukkha and Dukkha is depending upon Sukha. Now if you want Sukha, can you get it alone? Can you get it alone? No. Because if you have Sukha now, Dukkha must have preceded and it can only follow. And following Sukha, you will again get Dukkha. So your Sukha is in between two Dukkhas. And do you have to try for it? You try and still you get Dukkha. Then without trial you will also get Sukha? Not clear. புரிஞ்சுக்கிறதா உங்களுக்கு? Huh? Smile, my dear children. You are trying to avoid dukkha, but still you get it. But the dukkha will not come without having sukha first. So the first condition for dukkha to be is to bring sukha first. Why are you afraid then? Huh? This is the mathematics and arithmetics of life. Sukhayeshu vigatas prigaha vidaraga bhayakrodha. You transcend desire, fear and hatred. All these elements vanish from the morning. I will chant one more verse and show you the inner resources and then stop. When I quote from Bhagavad Gita, everybody will know it well. We have a body with which we interact. I said our personality is composite. In the composite body, you must understand the value of the body, the senses, mind, intelligence, etc. Sri Krishna says in the 3rd chapter, Indriyani paranyahuhu indriyebhya parammanaha manasastu parabuddhi yo buddhe paratastu saha. Our life is interactional. The interactional life is always between the senses on the one hand and the objects of the world. So you, the interacting individual, remains the same. And the interacted with, namely, persons, places and events alone vary. The interactions are not taking place in the objects. They are taking place in you, the interacting subject. So where will you have to look at? You look at your own subject, not body, but inside the body. So he says, Indriyani paranyahuhu. With our small eyes, we can see the sun, moon, etc. But we can stop seeing by closing the eyes. Suppose there is a sight which you don't like to see, what should you do? See the control we have. Our senses are superior to the objects. And superior to the senses is the mind. Superior to the mind is the intelligence. And still superior is the eye. Now you tell me, are you the greatest in the world or the smallest? Boliye na thoda. Sollungole vaaya thordu. Huh? என்னத்துக்கு பயந்துக்கிறீங்களப்பா? என்னத்துக்கு பயப்படுறேன்னு கேட்குறேன் நான். What is this? My dear world, what are you? You cannot see me, but I see you. I am the seer, I am the witness, and you are the seen. If there is destruction, I will witness the destruction. If there is prosperity, I will still witness it. If I am miserable, I will witness my misery. If I am happy, I will witness my happiness. Nothing happens to me. I am I. All of you, all the other things are you. Indriyani paranyahu. I would like you to recite this verse. Indriyani paranyahu indriyebhya param manaha manasastu parabuddhi Yo buddhe parathastu saha. My dear souls, I am in a mood now. So I tell world, my dear world, what can you do and what will you do? You cannot add a plus to me. I am full and complete, abundant. You cannot inflict a minus in me. My body is full with material substances. Inside it is full with consciousness. That consciousness cannot be affected by either the earth or the water or air or fire or space. Tell me what I am. What I am. Onnu sollungolenappa. What? We are human beings, mind you. I am not asking you to be proud. Question of pride doesn't come here at all. So throw me, my dear world, in any situation that you want. I will assimilate it. I will assimilate it. Understand that I am a conscious being. You are dead. You are inert. Our earth is very great, but inert. Water also, air also, fire also, space also. But we have something plus the world. What did I say? We have something plus. Plus. The 3 plus should become. Prepare a course for this. We are world plus. World plus. Okay, I have spoken enough. I always conclude my session saying that I would like all of you to live well with health and contentment. Nowadays I say have health and longevity. Except for very old people. They can go. You must have good children, good grandchildren, and further children in your families. I don't think you feel so, but I feel. Mostly people get married, become pregnant, and doctor tells you that she is pregnant. There is no preparation. Thinking that we are going to become parents, let them live for 1 week or 10 days or 15 days with a new discipline and a new divine touch. So I want you to have good, noble children, grandchildren, etc. The children should have, first of all, love for the family. They must equally love the society. They must learn well, grow well, and become productive. Contribute to the productivity of the nation and thereby to the globe. Let there be enough of prosperity. Every child should be making a creditable contribution to the society's welfare. This kind of a situation, if we are able to have, I think we will be both prosperous as well as peaceful. Let this center be a place for all of you to meet, discuss, and try to do something that is possible. Now it is a child to be nourished by all of you, to be made use of. I think I can expect all of you to rise to the occasion, as I said earlier, and do whatever is necessary. I mentally embrace all of you and bless you. Harihi, Harihi, Harihi. I will conclude the session. Jayati Jayati Devo Devaki Nandanoyam Jayati Jayati Krishno Vrishnivaṁsha Pradivaha Jayati Jayati Meghashyamala Komalango Jayati Jayati Prithvi Bharanasho Mukundaha Jayati Jayati Prithvi Bharanasho Mukundaha. Harihi, Harihi, Harihi Om Tatsat, Harihi Om Tatsat. Shall we have a conclusional recitation of Omkara? Huh? Yes. All of you are saying yes? Yes. Okay. Yes. Oh. എല്ലാവരും നന്നായിരുങ്ങോ. ഹരിഹി 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 ഓം തത്സ്.
Thank you, Swamiji, for your enlightening, engaging, and heartwarming address. Please remain seated. We have come to the end of today's event. Puja Swamiji will be with us until 14 September. Please be informed that all satsangs are held in our center. We have interactive satsangs with Swami Bhumananda Tirtha on 1st August, which is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Satsang with Swami Nirviseshananda Tirtha on 1st September, 1st September tomorrow on Thursday, with Swami Nirviseshananda Tirtha on 2nd September, Friday at 8 p.m. and Swamini Ma Guru Priya Ji on Saturday, 3rd of September at 10:30 a.m. The information you require is in this flyer and also available in our website, which is www.sirdmsia.org. I repeat, www.sirdmsia.org. We are truly blessed to have all three of them with us here today and till the 14th of September. Come and immerse yourselves in all these satsangs. The various Brahmavidya activities in our center is in this flyer. You may avail one from our volunteers. Puja Swamiji has written a host of books on Brahmavidya. All these books are on display outside our satsang hall. Please contact Elizabeth if you would like to own any one of these books. On 4th September 2022, which is Sunday, an interactive session for youth from the ages of 16 to 45 will be held here from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. All the information you require is in this flyer. You may avail one from our volunteers from the counter outside. We are very happy to have Swami Swayam Jayananda Saraswati Maharaj with us today. We request Swamiji to come forward to receive some books from Puja Swamiji. Swami. Swami, you may join. Puja Swamiji will give prasada and you may offer your pranams. A special memento of today's program, a desktop calendar of Swamiji's quotes, is to be received from Nutan Swamiji and Maji. Please avail your mementos from Nutan Swamiji and Maji. Please form 2 rows. Please allow the senior citizens and those with diabetic conditions to go first. Lunch is served. Volunteers, please assist. Thank you and Jai Guru.